Ladies with Jess Lujan.
Welcome back with my studio guests, former Senators Carmen Kasperbauer and Tony Sanford. Ladies, let me ask you, in your prospective parishes, Senator Sanford, you're from Agana Heights, and Senator Kasperbauer from Dededo. Of course, Father Paul was removed from Dededo. But you ladies have great concerns about your parishes. We'll start with you, Senator Sanford.
Oh, most definitely. As a matter of fact, when the Archbishop did his pastoral visit to our church and our parish, we basically told him in no uncertain terms that we'd like to protect the non-neo ministry in Agana Heights. You know, and we're standing up to protect our assets that was basically donated by, you know, love and sweat from our generations before us, my parents. And the property there was donated by Tansong and Tungkiko Cruz. And then her parents and my parents helped build the church from absolutely nothing but love and sacrifice. And then recently, I've been directly involved with the renovation, and we raised funds and worked for 7 years, and we paid off the loan. So, you know, we're so concerned that we protect that and that it should not go anywhere else but to the people of Agana Heights who go there to worship. And so, you know, it's something that we also are very concerned, because when he came to visit us, we asked Archbishop, how much of our parish contribution goes to fund the RMS? And he says, I think it's about 10%. And I said, well, 10% of what? You know, I mean, can we quantify that? And of course, he didn't have the numbers, but he said that he would share that with the public. And I think the more transparency on our financial management of our archdiocese needs to be followed through. I think more and more now we need to be concerned about accountability, because what's happening is indeed not something we had expected.
And actually, I hope one of these days, hopefully in the very near future, I'll talk to some people who have more of the real estate and more of the investment, because RMS, I think if we look back, there's some folks in Florida. This reach goes beyond Guam.
Definitely.
In regards to maybe stockholders that, I mean, that are affiliated with RMS, that have things in Florida and maybe beyond that. So this is beyond Guam. I mean, NEO is not just in Guam. But, and it's most especially, you know, again, when we're looking at real estate, prime real estate, I mean,
isn't it, you know, what's also very unfair is that when it was built, when the RMS was purchased, rather, it was under the guise of the archdiocesan, you know, seminary. And what is being produced today is strictly neos. I mean, you know, where is the fairness in this? Why doesn't the Archbishop support for the Capuchin and for the diocesan priests just as excited and as funded as he's doing for the neos? I think we're just asking for fairness here.
Dededo, of course, your pastor, Father Paul Goffigan, was removed a while back here, and your concerns about Dededo now.
Oh yes, thank you, Senator. But first, I wanted to say that Agana Heights Church, Tatang Kiko Cruz is my grandmother's brother, and he donated that land, you know, the property, and we all built that church. In fact, a lot of the EFOs came from the Arteros because we used to have the, you know, the
when you still had your property.
Sawmill over at MCS.
Mommy, can I just add that Nantong is my grandfather's sister.
So we're
so we're in this together.
Yes, and we don't want NEO to take over any of our churches, Agana Heights nor Dededo. We want our regular priests and our local priests, and we don't want Archbishop telling our young seminarian that unless you become NEO priest, I'm not going to have you be priest here on Guam.
Well, it was said that, of course, if you have a priest factory that we have here, basically, and it's all subscribing to the neo-catechumenal way. At some point, when our traditional priests that we know of, and we cherish and love, who either again retire, that we would have no choice. I mean, exactly. at this point, we go to different churches now if we don't like this, because it's, you know, it has transformed. But at some point down the line, we won't have a choice, because you know, you have a meal,
Yes, but-
a meal, a priest meal, right?
Yes.
But you know, with Father Paul, we were all so shocked and hurt. I mean, he scandalized Father Paul. Father Paul was not committing any kind of crime. And you know, even Jesus allowed Mary Magdalene to wash his feet, and she was a prostitute who became a convert. And so the guy who committed crime paid for his crime, and he wanted to make restitution and be more prayerful and helpful in the church. Yet they're making him, you know, stay away from the church.
Well, I'm just wondering, because we're getting close to Lent here in a couple of weeks, of course, with Ash Wednesday, and you know, I'm sure the Archbishop will be, you know, talking about when Mary Magdalene was when Jesus was being tested in regards to the sinner. And they were testing Jesus as how he was supposed to act to this woman, Mary Magdalene, because of her promiscuous ways at that time. They were testing him how he was going to go about this. And he said, well, he of you who is without sin, cast the first stone.
Yes.
And so I'm wondering how he's going to feel when he goes up there and talks about this and reads this, and him casting the first stone amongst, again, his Monsignor and his priests, and I'm going.
How about John Tovis? He
And
refused to give John Tovis his time.
That's right. And besides, you know, we have had priests who have done worse. I mean, the crime of sex to me is of a priest is really into the heart and soul of a person. But yet we do not scandalize them publicly because we don't want to shame their family and you know, the parishioner. But yet he's doing this to Father Paul and Monsignor James, and it's just so. Isn't it so moral?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know,
Why
he
is
needs. I mean, the Archbishop, I guess, needs to answer the question because we want to know. I mean, he's being accused, and of course, his accusation. We don't know if it's true or not, and you know,
But that's totally irrelevant, right? I mean, why don't you just welcome somebody that wants to talk to you, maybe forgive him?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
And Jesus said, "I came to heal. I'm a physician. I came to heal. If you're not sick, you don't need healing."
Maybe he means the other kind of heal. I mean, just to walk next to him. Anyway, Senators, I got to take a break and pay some bills.